Good day, everyone. So now let's proceed to the subjects used in art. As we all know that we students, or from the previous or in today's times, most of artists use a variety of subjects in making their arts. But before we tackle about the subject used in arts, let's have a brief recap on about what is the meaning of the term subject or the subject of art, because some of students might confused and think first they academic subjects. So here it is. So what is a subject? So unsa maning subject, ma'am? Unsa maning subject, sir? So let's not confuse to the subject and academic to between this subject that we are about to tackle, because the subject of art refers to any person, object, scene, or event described or represented in a work of art. So, ngayon kag the subject of art, it is about on what is the topic or the main focus of our artwork. Kung unsay ato ang gustong i-topic or i-drawing. Like, for example, animals, scenery, or any other things that is about the topic. So, mo na siya ang subject. So, in general, subject may be thought of as the what in a piece of art. So, mo na lagi ito akong giingon nga, what? Unsa may topic sa imuhang artwork? Iro ba ni siya? Or sa scenery ba ni siya? Or unsay focus sa imuhang artwork? So, next is the most common subjects of art include people or portrait, arrangements of objects or still life, natural world or landscape, and abstraction or non-objective. Another subjects of art include animals, katong giingon ganina, everyday life, and figures. So now let's proceed to the first subjects, which is the portrait. Portrait, an artistic representation of a person, such as drawing, photograph, or sculpture. So, kaya ba naman taon sa portrait? So, whether your artwork is a drawing or a photograph or a sculpture, as long as person niyang naa sa imong artwork, it is under and considered in the subject portrait. Many artists did self-portrait. Their own faces provided them unlimited opportunities for character study. So, ang mga artist pud kuno kay maghimo sila self-portrait kay aron para kuno ila na sila unlimited opportunities nga maka-study sa with various character. So, here is the example of the first subject used in art, which is the portrait. So, Mona Lisa by Leonardo da Vinci. It is considered as a portrait, right? Okay. Tao man na kay siya tao. The next is the bust of Aphrodite. It is also considered a portrait. Bust means an aridas upper part sa kani siya mo siya gitawag og bust of Aphrodite. The next is kani Frida Kahlo, self-portrait with flowers. So naghimo siya self-portrait niya kay aron na siya unlimited opportunities to study the character with different. Next is still lifes or arrangements of objects. So, mayon kitag still lifes. Still life work has been one of the most popular types of art. These are groups of inanimate objects arranged in an indoor setting. Flower and fruit arrangements, dishes, food, pots and pans, musical instruments, and music sheets. The arrangement is like that to show particular human interest and activities. So, ngayon gay tag still lifes, it is basically arrangement of objects. Pwede ra siya mga plato, flower, or fruits, or bisag unsa nga things as long as naka-arrange siya pag pesto. So, these are the example of still life or arrangements of objects. So, arrange siya. So, mo siya gitawag og still life. So, by Juan Sanchez Cotan on 1560 to 1627. So, queens, cabbage, melon, and cucumber. So, gihimo ni niya on 1602. San Diego Museum Art. Then, another example of still life is this one. I don't know who is the artist of this because I got this in the Google. So this one, pan, then cake, then fruits. Basta arrange lang siya nga pagka-display. That is what we call subject of still life. Next, this also. Oh, the arrangement of plate, what we call the old picture, I think. So this is also a example of still life or arrangement of objects. Next is natural world or landscape. So from the world, natural world, then landscape, sceneries. So a landscape is an artwork whose primary focus is natural scenery, right? Then such as mountains, forests, rivers, and rocks. It can take many forms, including a drawing, a painting, a sculpture, and an etching. So, natural world, when we say natural world, makita ra gud sa ato ang mga Chocolate Hills, mga Maria Cristina Falls, kung gusto mo mag-paint ana og kanang mga bulkan mayon. So that is considered an subject in natural world or landscape. So here is the example of a subject in landscape. Oh, diba? Chocolate Hills is considered a landscape, a subject of landscape. Kung ganahan mo mag-drawing Chocolate Hills, kay ay sa una katang elementary himo ba yatag Chocolate Hills ato sa una bukan mayon. So our art before is what we call the subject of landscape. Then the other one example is by Fernando Amorsolo, Antipolo. So ang main focus ani is the mountains. Don't mind the people there kay more salagkan sa palamuti sa ihang painting. But ang gi-focus jud ani niya kay is kani siya mountains, mga natural scenery like that. Next subject used in art is abstraction. So, or non-objective. So, na naman ta ni sa una pag high school, naghimo ta mga abstract nang may pattern, diba? So, abstraction is defined by its use of geometric forms that suggest simplicity and purity. By using shapes, patterns, sharp edges, and often bright colors, non-objective art displays interesting and imaginative work. So, when we say abstraction nga subject nga used in art, may natag geometric or pattern or shapes like that. Like this, for example. This one. It is related of the subject abstraction kay na siya pattern red white then napod siya shapes then the bright color, some of it is bright color. So this one is an example of abstraction or a non-objective. Another is this one. It has a shape circle. It does also have a pattern, orange, yellow, then napo siya geometric siya ratio ay kanang circle. Then the last one of example of the subject of abstraction is this one. Napo siya pattern na siya pina-curve nga na-straight mo siya 3D siya naglakaw ara ka mulakaw. So black and white, this is also example of abstraction. The next one subject is about to kay ba naman kay na picture animals. So as what I've said earlier, animals is also a subject used in art. Sagara na to naghimo tag-iro. So animals, they have been represented by artists from almost every age and place. In fact, the earliest known paintings are representation of animals in the walls of caves. So, ang kinaunhan day nga painting sa una kay nga cave sa nga kuan sa scope sa cave kay ang subject nga animals. The Carabao has been a favorite subject of Filipino artists. So, pag elementary na to kay ato ang kuan baya subject is animals. So, Carabao. So, here is the example of the subject used in art in which under the animals. Okay, animals man. So, animals ang topic or main focus sa painting. So, this one is one of the example of the topic or the subject animals. Then the other one, I made this in the year 2018. It is the topic about an ostrich walking in river. I think it is a river. So next is subject used in art, which everyday life. May katag everyday life, so mga observation nga makita nato sa palibot or mga gipangbuhat nato sa atong mga balay or whatsoever mga everyday life. So everyday life, artists have always shown a deep concern about life around them. Many of them have recorded in paintings their observation of people going about their usual ways and performing their usual tasks. So, mao na lagi to, everyday life. So, kintahay og ako mag-paint ko kung unsa akong makita sa akong palibot nga ilang gipambuhat kintahay naglakaw. So, makonsider na siya og subject under the everyday life. So, here is the example of everyday life subject. So, kani siya. Sa una pa siya, ma-painting. Ni by Fernando Amorsolo. Lavandera means manglaba. So, manglaba sa una, wa pa may hinayhay. So, iyang gibutang sa ubos iyang hinayhay. Lavandera. So, this is one of the example of the subject everyday life. So, si Fernando Amorsolo ani guro kasi iya ning asawa, iya siya or iya ra guro ning imagination nga sa una nakita pa niya iyang gipaint ang bae nga nang laba. So, mo na siya ang everyday life. Next is figures. The sculpture's chief subject has traditionally been the human body, nude or cloth. So, ang chief sculpture's chief kuno kay ang always niyang subject is about the human body, nude or mga nanggihobo like the Greeks before, like Venus, like Aphrodite, nga mga figures. Or the other one is the cloth. A favorite subject among painters is the female figure in the nude. Nga nung ganahan man sila female figure in the nude. So, umingon tag female figure in the nude, makahuna-huna ta atong mga Greeks, mga gods and goddesses like Venus, like Aphrodite. So, this is the example of the figure. So, Venus, the Milo, si 150 before Christ. So, nganong ang painters kay ganahan man sila female nga nude figure just because it is because to them physical beauty was the symbol of moral and spiritual perfection. Thus, they portrayed their gods and goddesses as possessing perfect human shape. So, mao dito nga ganahan sila nude nga figures because ato. So, that's my part. And that's all. Thank you.